Can you trust in life, right? Can you trust in life? Really, it's no small task, it's no mean feat to truly surrender control, to surrender your grip on what is happening and what is unfolding and where life is taking you. It's a natural consequence, I think, of being kind of identified with our sort of egoic self and everything that comes with that, all of our ideas and dreams and wishes and fantasies and fears and like, so we want things to be a certain way, right? For many different reasons. You can affect reality with that, but ultimately life life is in control here. Life will determine what happens. And so can you trust that? Because as much as we can kind of like affect reality with our, you know, with the desires, wishes, fears, and everything else that come from our egoic experience and where we want to go as a result of that, you can also move and direct in relation to life, right? What life is wanting to bring through you, what life is wanting to guide you towards, right? For sure, we can say, I think, I'm comfortable saying, there is a path. Path is obviously a word that comes with these connotations, right? But there is a way, right? There is a way that life is moving us. And if we steer away from that too much, there's consequences. And those consequences will generally be pushing us back towards the way. And so when you can kind of come into contact with what that is for you, with what life wants for you. And when I'm saying life, I'm meaning that aspect of ourself which goes beyond our self, right? The egoic self, but that which animates us, that which creates us, that which, that which has 1,000 names, that which is unnameable. Where does that want to take you? And you can connect to that, I think, like I was just experiencing this then. I was having a little journey within and very much came into contact with the way and the way that life wants me to go. And that requires trust. Certainly at the minute, that requires a lot of trust with the situation I'm in, because there's a lot of doubts, there's a lot of uncertainties, there's a lot of material, practical, real concerns, right? But I don't know, man. I think and I know this by now as well, right? I've had enough experiences to know when you just trust, when you just follow that movement, that urge, that towards something in some direction. You don't know why, it doesn't make logical, rational sense, and there's a lot of doubts that come with that because, oh yeah, well I could do that, but what if this and what if that and what if that, how's that gonna blah 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 blah. And again, right, there's a time and a place for practical thinking. This is something I've been kind of thinking I need to embody more lately, is just practicality, right? Just dealing with practical reality. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's something else. That cares not for that. And ultimately, that is speaking to something, that is speaking to something far more rich, far more enlivening, far more beautiful, right? That is trying to come through, that's trying to guide, that's trying to show the way, right? There is a way. There is a way. And if you follow that way, that's gonna sometimes shake up things, right? That's gonna make our living situations, our relationships, our financial situations, whatever it is, right? That's gonna shake things up in a way that might be a little bit scary, might be a little bit concerning, might be a little bit, but like ultimately, can you trust? Can you trust that? And can you follow that? And let go of the need to control where that is going to go, right? We easily get wrapped up in our ideas of what we want and what we want to see for ourselves and where we want to go. And it's like, again, there's place for that. But ultimately, I think it's a different kind of life. It's a different kind of experience that you're opening up, that you're opening yourself up to if you just learn to trust and surrender that control and follow where that is wanting to go. We might call it the heart. We might call it the soul. We might call it God. Life. Right? Where does life want to take you? It had been wanting to pull me in a certain direction recently, and there was a lot of resistance come up, and I was backing away from that, trying to be practical, right? And like, well, no, this and this, and no. But I asked myself, was this yesterday? Yesterday, I think. If I knew I couldn't possibly go wrong, there was no way any of it could possibly go wrong. Because that's the reality, right? It's like there is no wrong turn to take in this life. How could you possibly go wrong? It's all absolute perfection. If you couldn't possibly go wrong, where would you want to go? What would you want to do? How would you want to act? That's the way. And again, like practicality and all that, sure. But yeah, that's one type of experience to have, right? There's another type of experience of this life, of this mystical, magical, mysterious, just unbelievable experience that we are having right now, right? This. You can get caught up very easily in the, I want this, I want that, no, but where does this want to go? Where does this want to go? And if you knew it couldn't possibly go wrong, where would you go? What would you do? What would you want to do? And then can you trust? This has been a lesson for me this year, is how much can you trust? And yeah, I just got a really deep, kind of clear message then within myself. And the little journey I was having just then, like trust, just trust, 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 trust. And there's a whole world of uncertainty that is going to come with that. But can you trust? I've experienced that enough to know that when you do, when you can surrender your control, this life opens up into something, yeah, far more beautiful, expansive, unbelievable, than it otherwise would have. And what else are we here for if not to experience the fullness of what there is to experience with all of this? And you can't possibly go wrong. What's the worst that could happen? Can you trust?